Most of us still believe that the biggest mistake in love is choosing the wrong person to date, but that's not true. The real deadly mistake, the one that leaves the deepest regret, is falling for someone who doesn't deserve you long before anything even starts. Because some kinds of crushes don't just waste your time. They quietly wear down your confidence, strip away your self-respect piece by piece, and leave you stuck obsessing over people who never planned to choose you in the first place. In fact, there's one type on this list that almost everyone has experienced at least once, and it usually ends in heartbreak, embarrassment, or years of regret. What's scarier is that most of us only realize we're trapped when it's already too late, when the wound has already turned into a scar. So before your feelings become the next expensive life lesson, let's take a clear look at the 7 toxic types of crushes you need to avoid at all costs. First, the one who disappears into the digital void. This is the crush who lives entirely by their own rules. They usually vanish for 3 to 5 work days, then suddenly reappear with a casual message as if nothing happened. They don't owe you anything because you're not dating, yet they hold a strange power over your emotions. You can sit for hours analyzing every punctuation mark, wondering if their use of a period instead of an exclamation point means they hate you. The truth is extremely simple, even if your delusional brain refuses to accept it. If someone wants to talk to you, they will. They're not stuck under a rock. They didn't lose their phone in some freak accident. They're just holding their phone, looking at your name, and deciding that scrolling through mindless videos is more interesting. Loving a ghost means you're volunteering to be the backup option for their rainy, bored afternoons. Stop romanticizing their absence. It's not mysterious. It's simply disrespectful. Second, the project that needs a full rebuild. You look at a complete mess of a person and believe you can fix them. They carry deep emotional wounds, have a terrible relationship with their family, no clear career goals, and the communication skills of a damp brick. Yet you see yourself as the only savior who can unlock their hidden potential through pure affection. You're a crush, not a licensed therapist. You cannot love someone into becoming a decent human being. If they need a complete personality overhaul before they're fit to be with anyone, you need to let go. Stop treating people like a rundown house you bought at an auction. You'll pour all your energy, time, and money into patching their walls, only for them to leave the moment they become stable. Let them do their own healing while you find someone who already knows how to handle their own emotions. Third, the breadcrumb dropper. This person is a master at doing just enough to keep you from walking away. They never commit. They never take you on a real date and never give a straight answer about how they feel. Instead, they drop tiny, pathetic crumbs of validation. A random compliment here, a flirty reply to your story there. Just enough to keep you hoping that maybe, just maybe, they're starting to like you back. It's a psychological game, and you're losing badly. They don't actually want you. They just want the ego boost of knowing you're sitting by the phone waiting for their messages. You're treating them like a 5-course meal while they're treating you like a pigeon in the park. Sweep those crumbs away, stand up, and realize you deserve a full plate, not the leftovers of someone else's boredom. Fourth, the celebrity lookalike. This crush doesn't actually exist. You're not in love with a real person. You're in love with a carefully crafted fictional character you created in your own mind. You took their attractive face, added a bunch of qualities they don't possess, and built a masterpiece. Then, when they act like a normal, flawed, or even selfish person in real life, you get upset because they're breaking character. It's time to face the facts. The person in your head is a genius, a poet, a saint. The real person forgets to brush their teeth and laughs at offensive memes. You're projecting your loneliness onto a blank canvas. Stop falling for the potential and start looking at who they actually are. If you have to keep inventing excuses for their behavior just to keep the fantasy alive, you're dating a ghostwriter of your own making, not a human being. Fifth, the emotional vampire. This is the crush who uses you as a free 24-hour emotional dumping ground. They call when they're crying, complain about their exes, and spill all their darkest secrets. They make you feel special because they're being so vulnerable with you. But notice this. The moment you try to talk about your own life, the conversation suddenly dries up or steers right back to them. You're being used for emotional labor without receiving any of the benefits of a real relationship. They're draining your battery to keep theirs at 100%. They love the way you care about them, but they don't actually care about you. If you stopped being their unpaid counselor tomorrow, they'd find another naive listener by next week. Protect your peace and stop letting people bleed all over your clean carpet. Sixth, the validation addict. This person thrives on attention, and you are their main supplier. They know exactly how much you like them, and use that to boost their own self-esteem. They'll flirt heavily when they need a confidence boost, but the moment you try to move things forward or ask for clarity, they pull back and pretend they have no idea what you're talking about. They keep you in a permanent state of limbo because your longing looks and quick replies make them feel important. You're basically a walking mirror reflecting how great they are. The second someone else gives them a bigger dose of attention, they'll drop you without a second thought. Stop being a prop in their solo ego show. Your affection has value, so stop handing it out like free samples to someone who has no intention of ever buying the product. 7th, the one who still whispers about their ex. This is the crush who is still openly and intensely obsessed with their former partner. Almost every conversation includes a reference to what their ex used to do, how their ex hurt them, or why their ex was crazy. You convince yourself that by being the stable, loving, perfect alternative, you'll help them forget the past and choose you. You're walking into a battlefield that has already been destroyed. You cannot compete with a ghost from their past. If they're still talking about their ex, their heart is completely full and there's no room left for you. You're just a temporary distraction, a human bandage trying to cover a wound that needs stitches. Don't accept the role of a rebound. If they want to live in the past, let them stay there alone while you move forward with someone who actually looks at you instead of looking over your shoulder. Now be completely honest with yourself for just a moment. The common thread in all these tragic situations is you. You're the one allowing these people to rent space in your head without paying a single cent of rent. You're the one putting your life on pause, neglecting your friends, and lowering your standards for people who wouldn't even step over a puddle to help you. It's time to take your power back. Stop making excuses for people who treat you like an afterthought. Delete the chat, archive the conversation, and block the number if you have to. Most people don't get their hearts broken by relationships. They get their hearts broken by fantasies. They fall in love with potential, imagination, and a version of someone that never actually existed. The moment you stop chasing toxic crushes is the moment your standards rise, your confidence returns, and the right people start noticing you. Your dignity is worth far more than the temporary high of a text message from a toxic person. Because the truth is, not every crush deserves your attention. Some people enter your life to teach you a lesson, not to become your future. The sooner you recognize the toxic ones, the less damage they'll do. The comment of the day goes to Turbo City, who wrote, "This is the only channel I come to when I need a daily boost of confidence." And that's great, man. Knowing this channel gives you a daily confidence boost makes all the work worth it.